Can't give anymore. I can't
That's crazy.
give anymore. Oh, dude.
If you would have asked me like
That song is...
3 minutes ago who did that song, I never would have guessed Harry Nilsson, first of all. But I would have sworn that it was a woman. Just from my recollection of the song.
No, I get it.
Because I know that it's been done by someone.
I really think that we've also
Whitney
heard...
Houston?
It might be something like that.
Someone big did it, I think. But I would have never guessed Harry Nilsson. But he did Pina Colada, right?
Oh, don't remind...
Was that-
That's him.
Oh, that's weird.
Says Celine Dion did it.
Oh, that's probably the diva that I'm thinking. The big voice.
Doesn't sound right, though. Seems like it was like a Whitney Houston or something. But
That's who I was thinking when you hit play. It was like... But I mean, I'm thinking of also like... She did all those ballads.
Or
in the
else
90s.
just time in our heads. We can't form the correct memory, so we're trying to reach out for something that's not there.
Isn't that called neurodivergence?
It's called getting older, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's called getting older. You're getting wiser.
Nope.
Yep.
I'm getting older, but I do not think I'm getting wiser.
Yeah, oh, you got to. That's the only part about getting older that's good, I guess, is the wiser part.
But
you got to hope for wiser, because your body, your physical ability is, we're going downhill right now, in a way.
But if you don't feel like you're getting wiser, then like...
Maybe that's why people go crazy. It's like, well, I'm not getting wiser. I'm definitely not getting fitter.
But I am getting older. That's
I am
for
getting
sure.
older. So you gotta find a wiser.
Easier said than done. You can't convince yourself.
This episode's brought to you by Find Wiser.
Yeah. Speaking of, hey.
Oh,
welcome. Yeah, we started but didn't start officially. Now we're in it.
And
so
now you've said that, so it seems like you
that should all be
intentionally
just cut out, like for the.
It seems like
the episode.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I don't know.
It's fine. Getting the sea legs back because I need to learn how to walk to talk again.
Yeah,
it's a bad metaphor, sea legs, but at the same time,
yeah, it feels weird doing this.
It does. It feels very strange. It feels foreign, but it's just because we haven't.
It's exciting.
It is,
but it feels.
You'll fall into it. It's because we've not done it. I can explain why. There's a reason we've not done it. It's because of mental health.
Oh yeah, you gotta take care of that.
Everyone should take care of their mental health.
Oh boy.
I think I was looking the other day. The last episode that we did was the one with Jarius, and it was hard to fathom that. I was like, wait, that was like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy. That doesn't feel like it's been that long, but because I guess when you feel like life is hell every day, the time
it doesn't
by.
exist anymore in that period. It's like up is down,
yeah,
left is
I feel
right.
like I went through like a really dark period. What was it? Van Gogh had the blue period. Is that related with the blue period? I mean,
I don't know.
To me, I would think that his blue period
is that when he cut his ear off?
I think that was later. That was the psychosis period.
Yeah.
No, there's like different eras, of like painters where they call it something. But I wonder if that was like for him when he was depressed and what he made. But for me, let me tell you what. When I get depressed, making things, not gonna happen, because I don't have the willpower in the brain to like force myself to do. That's something I've learned about myself and want to like change, because
it's hard to change it when you're in it.
Yeah.
It's hard to accept.
It's even hard to change it once you've gotten through it.
It's hard to accept the things you know to be true when you're in it. That's like the best explanation I can think of.
That is really, yes,
you can't even tell yourself that
that's
it's
the best
different.
way to put it. Every day that you're in one of those places, like let's say a depression, and you're really low and you don't want to like leave the house, you don't want to do any time, literally just becomes nothing. Like every day sort of becomes so routine to the same thing because you really can't be bothered to like do anything out of the ordinary.
Right.
And I think that's why maybe like the time just feels like it just crunches together.
I know you say like it's hell, but like I think that literally might be
Hell?
what hell is, you know?
Then I wouldn't wish hell on my worst enemies because that's what it is.
But it's only a place that you can put yourself.
That's the problem. And you know it. Even when you're in it, you know, like, oh man, I'm in a funk. I really got to get out of this. Like I really got to cheer up. Like I know I'm being pessimistic.
Yeah.
You
and it's
know,
almost like
you
start being the actor of a certain show that you know the role for because you are the role.
Generally Ray Romano.
Generally that. But it's like at some point the things you're upset about go away.
Yeah.
But you are down this little spiral where like, but I don't want to turn around and just be happy now.
I was about to say, isn't it like a weird sort of pride of like,
yeah,
I've gotten this far. Might as well do
it. It is weird. And I know
that sounds so
some
awful.
people's are different, but my depression and my anxiety.
I think if you're listening and you have a form of depression, you probably know what that means to you. And because I know everyone's depressions work different.
Yeah, I don't mean to speak for anybody else. When I talk about the way depression makes me feel and anxiety makes me feel, but I realize that it's just my own brain. But like,
because I get frustrated that I get no creativity out of it when some of the best musicians in history made the best music.
Well, I think that that thought says a lot about your psyche in general.
Like, I should make
you get mad at yourself probably because you're not creating anything.
Oh,
which is what is causing you to not create things. It's like you put yourself in that cycle.
Right, that's true.
But when it happens,
so you're angry because you're not being creative and
you're not being creative.
But you're not being creative
angry.
because you're angry. I'm working through shit right here.
Yeah, it's like you can't find the outlet for it.
Yeah,
it's like you got all this electricity buzzing in you, and you don't know how to get it out of you. Until one day,
man,
it hits back, and you're like, "Oh, life's great again."
But the weird flip side to that is once you hit that point again where you say, life's great again, and you realize it, you look back to even just like weeks and months before and say, what was I thinking? Like, how
I know.
Like right now, I can't rationalize putting myself mentally in the place that I was in, right?
Yeah.
And like, I've talked about it before, but having raging ADHD and OCD are hard to battle with. And like, there are times, you know, I go through it and I'm like, I'm just going to let it do what it does.
Yeah.
Because that's the natural thing. It's just let my brain do and process things the way it needs to, because that's going to be the healthiest way. I don't want any help. You know, no medication, nothing. I'm going to fight this. And then like you can fight to a certain point. And I think, I'm not saying that there are not people that can go the rest of their lives with no medication at all and just say, I'm going to defeat this. And just like Thor, grab your fucking hammer and just start cranking away at it. Like, cool. If you can do that to your, like, because I feel like all the motivational speakers you see online, basically they say that.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're feeling stressed out. I know you're angry. Let it go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's that easy. Okay. I'll just let it go. It go. Sometimes when I watch motivational things, it literally just pisses me off because the way they explain, and there are some that can do it
does sound
great.
Condescending for someone that doesn't know how to let it go.
Yes.
I think that there is a way.
You're assuming I don't want to let this go. You're assuming that I want to hold on to my depression.
But,
and just
but the thing is, they're not.
Right. They're not. I know.
But
when I'm in it, I see those and it makes, dude.
But when you can start seeing both sides of it, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to take, I think, when I hear that.
Yeah.
You know, because you can just let it go, but it's really...
But even though you're hearing
it feels impossible. Like you can't... It's like, I know I can, but I can't.
Right. And I think the reason that I hate hearing that in motivational speaking is because I've been around people in the past that had a very different mindset to mental health that would say things like, oh, it's fine, just get over it. Like, and you could be like at a low point and like, you just need someone to tell you, hey man, it's gonna be okay. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But instead you get, blow it off. It's fine. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Brush it off. Hey.
And I know that people that are saying that are doing it in a good place because they might have never had any kind of feeling like that.
Could you imagine being one of those human beings that get to live this life?
But the thing is, they
anxiety?
They just think of it as something different. You know, they do.
You think so? I've wondered that before. Like the way that I have anxiety, the way you have anxiety, we know that ours are very similar in a lot of ways, but they're also very parallel. They've got different dimensions to them. Can you imagine that there are people in this world that like really don't face like the anxieties that
we might have it worse because we're like creative mindset like people. I think us kind of people get not that we get it worse, but I think it's pretty prominent because we think of the world or we think of things in a little bit of a different way, or we try to so that we can make art, you know?
Yeah.
So when you start breaking down these things, it will it'll make you start thinking lots of unnecessary thoughts too. You know?
Well, I mean, I've been to the most negative of negative and thought the most unnecessary thoughts you could possibly like even
like
imagine.
We have wild imaginations, and sometimes it's really helpful, and sometimes it's the worst thing in the world.
When you're writing a horror film, great.
Yeah.
When you're living it and you're literally just like living up here, it's hell. That's what hell is.
Yeah.
You're writing a horror movie of yourself every day of like what the worst existence would be, and you're creating that daily. Yeah. And you're living it on a loop. And then again, when you get to the other side of it, because you always do, it always gets better. And again, we're big advocates for like any sort of mental health. I know it used to be like when we were in high school back around that time, I feel like it was very like, oh, you talked to a therapist? Oh.
Yeah, there was a
Weird
stigma
guy.
about it.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a stigma about it.
I remember it. That's not Mandela affected. Like that for real. That was a thing. I think like, and I still think a lot of guys, and I'm not trying to like generalize or stereotype, but I do think a lot of, I'll say men. Yeah. There's a certain type of man that is like, no, I'm going to be in my feelings. I'm not telling a therapist that's crazy. I don't need to do that.
No, I think some people might have to find the right therapist, someone they know they can open up to, not like some random doctor they go to, you know. But
for me, it's been the most like
I think that's the thing with a lot of men, especially here in the South and back in the 80s and 90s. You know, like
you would get like
they're man's men, and they wouldn't tell anybody their secrets.
It's like the scene in The Sopranos when Tony first meets the doctor and like just. Completely, you know, he's not taking it serious at all. Someone knew you were talking to a therapist,
they'd probably call you a pussy. And
Like, oh, you expect me to talk about my feelings? Huh? I get beat
or they
up
think you were crazy or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because in the show he said that
he had to go get his mind checked out.
Yeah,
he must be crazy.
He must be unstable. Yeah. You gotta watch out for that guy. Yeah, dude, that's
where people. That's
crazy.
Black and white thinking. It's
I just call it crazy.
Good and evil. It's. People don't look between the spectrum of things, you know?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, there's a chance this person might be a crazy serial killer, so...
Oh, yeah.
Cutting this person off.
And you never know who the serial killer is, obviously, until years later when a documentary series is made on you, and it's on either Netflix or somewhere else.
Exactly.
That's when you are defined... We know for sure it's a serial killer.
How weird is it that we like to watch serial killer documentaries?
One step further, not just serial killers, but literally like unsolved crimes. Like the darkest of true crime stuff is generally like the most intriguing.
I love it. But,
me too.
But why do I love it? You ever thought about that?
I have, and I've thought that because I've thought about it before in violent video games. And like when you take joy in doing something that's like so like weird and gross or whatever, like in video games when you're able to like go excessive with murders and stuff, and you do, you just make it.
Of course.
Like Grand Theft Auto, dude. Okay.
I bet you've done the most evil things in Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, I was about to say, give me a day, preferably on the weekend, where I've got nothing to do, and you tell me, hey, I want you to sit and play Grand Theft Auto all day long. Get creative. And we're going to record it. dude, you could take the cinematics from my whole day and make a blockbuster. Because I play Grand Theft Auto. Step back. I play Grand Theft Auto like it's a film.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking about, playing the story mode where you go through and you campaign, but yeah, dude, I go in there and I will, especially when you play online, like you got your apartment, you got the bong, you got the bottle of wine, you got everything in your apartment you need.
Yeah.
You got your cars downstairs. I like to set up now, because the game's been out for so long, I like to set up obstacles for myself and like sick, weird goals. Like, but what does that say about a person? And I've thought about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
it's like, if this is a multi-verse kind of parallel world to us that I'm orchestrating and I don't even know about it. Like,
I've never gone that far.
Am I a
into
god of this little world?
You are, though. In Grand Theft Auto, you were I mean, it's just...
Is that how we are seeing? Oh my God.
But who... Okay. But that's... Oh my God. Literally. But no, that's the question, is if that's NPCs... Okay. What I think drives... back to the point.
Basically, I feel like we do have NPCs on this earth.
I do too.
I'm just kidding.
I feel like you come into an encounter with them every single day, and it is terrible. I think,
but it feels like it sometimes.
It does. It very much does. It feels very transactional. Like everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely
can be
feels like
so just like cut, copy, paste from the time you went to the store the day before.
Or maybe that's just the way we think of other people.
Because we are in our own heads doing.
Yeah.
Like. Wrap your head around that. Every human being that you come encounter with every single day is going through the same range of thoughts and things in their lives. Like when you, because we rarely ever stop and think about that. Like, again, when going to the grocery store, when going out, any store, going to Target, going to the movie theater, it doesn't matter. Every human being that you come in contact with is like, also going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But different.
Like
the exact same thing.
And we expect them to be a side character in our main character story.
Yes, but we're the side character to
theirs.
Yes.
We're extras in so many people's.
Yes.
And we don't get shit for it.
No, we don't. We don't.
Somebody call SAG. We're being played.
I should be getting royalties on royalty. No. Mm-hmm. What I think it is, to take it way back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That makes you do evil, awful things in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Is knowing that you can like do stupid shit without consequence. Because we're normal, rational, and regular thinking people. And so like, even when you're playing the game, you're thinking like, oh, this is so stupid and wrong. This is like, why am I doing this? You're even thinking it like while you're doing it.
But the main thought, I think, is, which I think is the what thing that makes it okay.
Right. Yeah.
Is that I know in my life I would never see the sight of this atrocity.
Right.
So my only way to see it safely,
is to orchestrate
it on the boardwalk here
in Grand Theft Auto. Yeah,
it's like I'll never be able to fly.
Right.
So I'll jump out of an airplane with a parachute,
just to
fucking feel like I'm flying for a minute. Because
you start hearing it pick up, and you just hover towards the ground.
Our physical ability's not enough. We've got to know how it feels to fly, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a safe way to do something that is just impossible in your brain that you would ever do.
You see, and they say video games are bad for people and for their brains. I think
for some people, maybe,
but I think
it's something. If you're doing things on there because you want to do them, and you're in real life. Mm-hmm. Then that's when the problem is happening.
Yeah. No, I'm saying.
But for like
you get to go on there and
you
use
can't
it
say
as
normal. But the wide range is that I think. Let's see the possibilities here.
Yeah. Let's see how it plays out. Let's roll the dice. let's just
Yeah.
set up a little scenario.
Because there's no
Because
consequences.
like I would see in a movie. Because again, I think of like the stupid stuff that happens in Grand Theft Auto is like a scene you would see in a movie.
See, I don't do that though.
But like you play it to see the consequences, you know, and that's the same thing as like when you watch a John Wick movie, you know 150 plus people are going to die.
Oh yeah.
Like at least.
Oh, for sure.
Like easily. But was it 450?
But I
saw the death count the other day. John Wick has killed 450 people in the movies. Roughly, approximately. It's in the 400.
I thought that was the amount that were in each movie.
Oh God, is it really?
I mean, it's something absurd.
Oh, maybe it was. I looked it up and I thought it was the series wide, like from John Wick 1 to 4. Because I literally typed in how many people has John Wick killed.
How many kills in John Wick 4 specifically?
Oh,
let me see.
140
in that. Okay, so yeah, you're right.
140.
But I thought there was one that had like 300 for something in it.
I'll bet they have about the same, right? But like, think about that. Those are people that all have lives.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
I mean, obviously they don't.
We're gonna find out the total
cinematic world, but that's 150 people.
John Wick's kill count's 439. Jeez,
439.
That's a lot of bodies.
That's a lot of humans that John Wick tears. And I know it's a silly action film.
It's a lot of blood, man.
It's a lot of
Your
blood.
effects department needs to be on ball that day.
That is a ton, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the fourth one yet.
I haven't either.
Really want to watch it. Haven't seen it yet. Will say that I just finished watching Better Call Saul.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of Breaking Bad.
I was too. And I've never seen Better Call Saul still.
I didn't watch it.
I don't know why.
When it first came out, being afraid that it would be terrible. Because I loved Breaking Bad so much that like when it came out, I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. Just last night, I finished season 6. Last episode of the show.
Yeah.
Done. Like, he's already said he's making no more. Like, that's it. So I knew that coming into this, that season 6 was it. And that just started or came onto Netflix about a month ago.
Yeah.
Right about the time that I was finishing, while I was in my depression spiral, I rewatched Breaking Bad from the start to finish.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. So good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. But I hit the end while I was still in my depression phase, and I was like, I need something else to watch.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I decided.
I do that too. If I'm like, I need a new long
Yep.
series right now.
I need something that I can turn on and get into and just go. Like
you made me just realize that about myself as well.
Dude, that is one of the best feelings.
Yeah.
So I found or refound Better Call Saul, and it had just came out season 6, and I was like, oh my God, when was season 5? Looked it up. It was like 2000, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I just found it.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if I would have been watching it since then and had to wait for what happened in season 5 till season 6, would have had to wait in real time for 2 years, I would have hated that.
Yeah.
Would have hated it. Like, that would have been rough. But being able to watch it from start to finish, I'm going to say, okay, in the way that if you've seen Breaking Bad, you'll know what I mean by this. It is highly intense drama with a lot of action. So where Breaking Bad is different from Better Call Saul is there was that action element that kind of always kept you like
there was the
with
threat
adrenaline
of capture or death at any moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And while Better Call Saul deals with a lot of the same characters, it's crazy, amazing how many storylines from Breaking Bad. And I kind of assumed that it would have that.
Does Vince Gill gonna do that too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is more dramatic in the way of being like cinema dramatic. Like the I would say in the last 2 episodes, first of all, in the 6th season, there's a ton of black and white, which is incredible and well done because it's present. And then anything in color is past. was beautifully done.
That's awesome.
But there are long, like I'm talking, there are like 2 and 3 minute long scenes with no dialogue. In season 6, I noticed it more, especially in the last couple episodes, where it would just show him doing a thing, you know?
Right.
And it was so intense, but in a more dramatic way. So like, you know, Breaking Bad had that like adrenaline from like action. Man, the adrenaline and drama that you get from Better Call Saul it hits different.
Yeah.
It's a whole different level of anxiety because while there are, you know, the same types of like gangsters and like, you know, cartel, all that, due to the lack of Heisenberg and Jesse, it's just different. Yeah. Like I
mean, I love Bob Odenkirk so much. Dude, and everything he's ever done. I honestly don't know why I've not watched Better Call Saul. I've heard it's great. I've meant to watch it, but every time I've started, it's just been something where I was like, oh, I think I'd rather watch this right now. I'll do this later.
I noticed, and this is weird because I don't remember it, but when I went in and watched it this time, I noticed that I have at some point watched season 1.
Yeah.
Season 1, like all the episodes had the red, you know, bars in Netflix, like at the bottom, show you've played through them, and except for the last like 1 or 2 episodes. So I had started it. Don't know when, but like can't really like emphasize enough how much you need to watch it.
Okay.
Like
I'll watch it.
It makes me mad that I didn't watch it from the beginning, but again, I'm glad I didn't because waiting for a series is not fun. Succession has been that way. I mean, I'm glad that I forgot last season
I did
to
too.
this season.
I re-caught up with last season to present, and I'm
glad during the wait I somehow like forgot and let it slip my mind because when it was coming back, it was again like, when is it?
Yeah.
What Sunday? Soon? Like when? It's torture for the first few weeks because the last season, oh my God, this season, and it's it. They're done.
Yeah, I know. How many more episodes are left? Do you know?
2. Apparently, Brian Cox and Jeremy Strong don't get along, and that's why they're ending it.
Really?
They apparently on set like get in shouting matches. Like I was reading that they just didn't want to be around each other. And Jesse Armstrong, fun fact, wrote Peep Show.
Yeah.
Does Succession. Brilliant writer. If you don't know Peep Show
is brilliant. Peep Show is amazing.
Brilliant British cinema.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the awkwardest, cringiest.
Yeah, it is.
Take like Michael Scott level cringe every episode.
Yeah.
That's about.
For the whole episode almost.
For the whole episode for an entire series for 9 seasons.
Right.
It's so good. It's amazing. But yeah, the way that he writes in Succession is very, very similar. Speaking of cinema, high cinema. Have you seen
High cinema?
Have you seen Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah, went and saw it last week.
Didn't expect you to say yes.
Why?
I don't know.
I think
a
6-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Yeah, okay.
Of course I went and saw Mario movie.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Chris Pratt?
It was good.
When I heard that Chris Pratt was doing Mario, I don't know what I thought. Other than just like, what?
Yeah,
what?
It did sound weird, I think. But
because I remember the Mario Brothers when we were younger. I mean, it was terrible. With John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
You know, that was pretty bad. That movie was pretty awful.
John Leguizamo in that?
He was Luigi.
In the Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah, dude. The live action one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember who. Yeah. I'll bet you he was a big name that played Mario. Obviously. I mean, like, John Leguizamo was Luigi.
Al Pacino. Al Pacino as Mario.
Hoo-ah, it's me, Mario. Oh, how weird would that be? That's awful.
And starring.
That's so terrible. And
Al Pacino as Mario.
I keep wanting to do say hello to my little friend. But then it brings me back to what we were talking about earlier.
Oh,
with
gosh. Yeah, I saw that.
What is...
Hold on. I want to find out who this guy was first.
What is and isn't...
Bob Hoskins. It was the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Dude, he was in Hook.
And Hook, yeah.
Wait, he played Mario?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I like that guy.
I do too, but I remember
it was just the movie. It's not the actors have nothing to do with it. It just for some reason that point in time that was just the worst movie.
It was. It was the time period. It was that.
I didn't hate it.
It was the special effects,
but it was so just nothing I wanted to see.
I say special effects. It was a film. In the 80s?
Maybe I'll find 90s, some kind 90s. Of like later in life love for it. Who knows? I'm open to it. Honestly, I would love to watch it again now that we're talking about it.
Me too. I was just about to say I might have to report back because I may have to watch the old Mario Brothers movie between now and next time, and then kind of see if it's any good. I'm curious now. I'm curious if it's good or if it's...
I don't think it's good.
No, I mean, obviously it's not good, but
is it?
If it's as bad as I remember.
What is good and bad?
Subjective.
It's a matter of opinion.
It's always subjective.
Are you going to tell yourself already that you don't like it? You won't even give it a chance to like it? Could you go into it hoping or expecting to like it?
I don't think that it's human to be able to go into something like that you watched when you were a kid.
You could change your mindset on that.
You can, but I feel like you've already got a certain history with it. And for me, the history is just like I remember seeing it and I remember it being kind of weird. Like I liked it, or at least acted like I liked it, because at the time I enjoyed the game and I thought, I was how old? God.
Yeah.
I was like 12. Mm-hmm. I was also stupid. So like I can't really take that judgment of like when I liked it as a kid, I was an idiot. So maybe I wouldn't like it now because I feel like I've grown a lot since then. It goes without saying.
But could you open your mind?
I think
open enough.
I've grown
to go back. Here's the thing, Gene. We're asking people to do a lot of be understanding about society.
Yes, we are. Yes.
So could you go into the Mario movie, knowing what you know and all your life experiences about how bad that movie is, with an open heart and expectation that it could be a really good movie?
I would love to say yes. I would love to, but I know that I would be lying to you and I would be lying to anyone that is listening. I don't think that I can erase the way that I feel about it from like being young. I'm not going to lie to you.
Society is ruined then.
Yes, because you are.
That is our pitfall as a human race.
I'm getting it more as you say that. Like, oh man, I can't erase like memories of the past of like a time that but yeah, I mean, I've got to be able to erase those memories of watching that movie and being real freaked out and how cheesy it was.
I try to do that sometimes.
Because, UHF is a movie from that time period. Yeah. I still think it's great. Weird Al, brilliant. I think the movie is cheesy and cringy and it hurts more now. The cringe level hits different than like when I was a kid and I thought it was funny. Like hot dog, oh God, what was it? Twinkie wiener sandwich. He cuts open a Twinkie and puts a hot dog in it and ketchup and mustard. That scene, like where he's making it and he's like talking, it was making me.
I'm not very familiar because
City,
I can't.
That commercial Spatula City.
I've never watched UHF in entirety.
Michael Richards at his best.
Maybe
Michael Richards at his best. Maybe
a little bit of love-hate Weird Al life.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I've had times where I've heard it and been like, it's pretty funny. I like how he makes the puns.
But let me tell you.
But most of the time it's like,
I'm tacky. Right, I know. I just watched that music video again the other day. I don't remember why.
But I love him. I think he's probably a great human, and I want to like.
Did you watch the movie?
Listen to Weird Al? No.
But see, that's the thing. Okay, he's a parody.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone.
No, I think he's great.
I don't think Weird Al is anybody's favorite. And
I think he's great at what he does. I don't think that he is bad at anything.
No. And I don't think
there's just something about his whole thing that I just can't.
I get it.
Latch on and ride with.
And I don't think anyone has him in their favorite artist spot. Like, I don't think that he's anyone's favorite. I think he is a novelty.
I think even he would say it would be weird if he was someone's favorite music.
Yes. Like, after watching the movie with Daniel Radcliffe, where he played Weird Al, it's kind of like a dramatized story of his life. It's good. It's very good. Yeah. It's very silly. But it makes, I mean, again, I already like Weird Al enough. Like, I think he's probably a great human being.
Yeah.
He's very funny. UHF is literally one of those movies. I think the reason I love it is because as a youth, I watched it a lot because my dad liked comedies a bunch. And for some reason, we had that movie on VHS, and he watched it a lot on, like, weekends when, like, he would just sit around and watch football. I feel like watching football, basketball, and that show or that movie. Like, that, those are, like, I remember
I've got
all
certain
of those
movies from that age that are like that for me. Like, Last Dragon, that's one for me.
I loved I love VHS
Barry
days.
Gordy's Last Dragon is one of my favorite movies to this day. I bet you I've seen it.
That's
more than any other movie, maybe.
Like, probably one that you can quote
that
every
and Monster Squad.
Line. Oh,
watch the shit out of Monster Squad. Watch the shit out of Goonies.
Oh yes, Goonies was amazing.
Goonies was and still is amazing. I watched.
It's probably been a lot of years since I've watched Goonies. I'm honestly like.
I watched Tombstone so many times. And Shawshank Redemption. I've watched that one a shit ton of times.
I think Shawshank was always too heavy to watch too many
I've always been like that when I'm going to bed and at nighttime. I will put on something and watch it over and over again as I go to sleep. And like
that's what I do with The Office.
At younger ages, I was doing that with that. And then during the day, I was listening to the Beatles all the time. I'd latch on to one thing and just like try to find out everything I possibly could about it.
That makes sense.
It was an obsessive behavior.
You would sleep with it so that you could absorb it.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to absorb it into my bloodstream.
That's how you learned rap lyrics. It makes sense now. I've always wondered how you could like recite a whole verse and it's like, whoa, that's a ton.
Because I listen to it all the time.
And you listen to it at night.
All the time.
Subconscious. So that's kind of leaning towards saying that there is like some sort of benefit maybe to...
I was brainwashing myself.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You were MK Ultraing yourself.
Or was it society that's MK Ultraing us? Are they behind it? Is it the government?
They say no.
They control the radio waves.
They say they're not doing it, and I believe them.
Of course you would say that.
Yeah,
of course you would believe that.
Because we're brought... Oh, speaking of the truth, did you hear Tucker Carlson?
What did he do?
He's bringing his show to Twitter.
Oh, I saw something
now
about
that he's been fired from Fox News, unrightfully, for speaking his truth. His face. I wish I could make... No, I don't wish I could make it.
Oh, God. Don't
like,
make it.
He's got a face.
Yeah.
I am interested, though, like on every real level right now. I'm very interested to see if he's going to talk the same. Because, they just got in that lawsuit with Fox, saying that they were, like, knowingly saying untrue things on air.
Yeah.
And he was one of them.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, on Twitter now, is he going to be more like middle of the road, or is he going to be more Alex Jones? You know what I mean? Like that's been the big question that I've been wondering.
I mean, it's all a joke, right? Like all these people are a joke.
I mean,
I don't trust any of the news. Because if I can't trust one news person, I can't trust any news person.
And that's why they say they're bringing it
on an outlet.
That's why they're, ironically,
yeah,
why they're bringing it to Twitter, because I watched Tucker's video he posted the other day talking about what its purpose was. And he said mainstream media is lying to you.
Yeah.
They will fire you for telling the truth. I mean, he's pretty straightforward in it. And I just wonder if he's going to be more like calling out of things, or if he's going to be on the side of like, again, Alex Jones level, where he's going to be like alarmist. You know what I mean? Like, and this is a new thing they're kind of trying on Twitter, where they're trying to like let creators make things on Twitter and people can subscribe.
I mean, I don't trust Twitter either.
You don't trust it in what way?
That they're going to be serving me 100% truths and
facts.
Elon. You got to trust yourself.
He's not going to lie.
And it's hard to trust. It's hard because we're watching. I
see so much hate for Elon, but
actors.
Like
we're watching actors act. They're acting the news. It's not real. I mean, the news is real, but you're getting it through this box that you don't even know you should trust. It's so weird. The world is fucked up.
And
now,
then on
man.
that same box,
no, I can't trust anything anymore.
On that same box, you don't know which person to trust. That's the scary thing.
And then you say, I can't trust either.
Which is why people turn to things like the internet and Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, I see some of the
And then people trust those people? That's invisible people.
Yeah.
You don't know who those people are.
And that's very true.
It's probably the same people.
That's very true. It's probably the same people writing
same fucking
the main headlines for the like all of the regular news, and that's true. They're manufacturing it all.
I'm over exaggerating, but like for real,
Twitter's probably
the news
where I get my news from the most, which is weird to say, but like I watch network news every now and then, like at night. Just I'll turn it on for a few minutes, just kind of see what's going on. And I hate it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know enough to tell if you're trustworthy or not.
Yep.
I don't know how to know more about it.
Yeah.
But all I can do is just listen to whoever's talking and be like, let me think of this both ways.
Yeah.
And make my own decision.
And I think that's why I've learned to love and hate Twitter at the same time.
Yeah.
The same way I think a lot of people, there's some people that are like totally against it now and they hate it. Because I believe fully in freedom of speech. So I think that no matter how awful something is that someone wants to say, I'm not going to like them for it, but I think they should be able to say it. Like, and that's just...
Do you think I should be able to throw shit on your doorway?
I mean...
Legally.
That's
if I came by and threw shit, no, I would throw it from a good distance away.
Would you?
Yeah.
That's a whole different. You can't compare the two.
Well,
like, but there's a limit.
Would you like for me to take a dump on the ground right under your driveway every morning? You'd have to like drive past it and see it.
Tricks on you. I don't leave the house. I'd never see it.
I don't care if you're here or not.
I know. No, I know what you're saying, but that's like...
I'm just saying there's some things that obviously shouldn't be like tolerated or given a voice.
And right. Okay. So for example, if someone is doing hate speech to a point of like they're threatening to hurt someone,
or rally a group together to like do evil things.
I think for me it's more conversation. People should be able to say their
point of view. There's not a line.
There's
this like imaginary line that everybody's got to make their own peace and morality with, you know? And it's hard to have a company like that. You're going to have to end up catering to somebody.
You'd have to. That's true. Well, I don't know, because I was going to say a minute ago, I see equally bad things every day as I do equally amazing things. Like I see great conversations on Twitter sometimes, or points. Maybe not conversations.
It's just,
But then sometimes I'll get on and I see just some of like the worst of the worst, which I'll put myself there on Twitter by who I follow, and the For You section is always obviously going to put stuff that like it thinks you want to see, because the algorithm, hate to say it, it's pretty spot on. I mean, I get a lot of like...
spot on?
It is.
Are you following the algorithm?
I don't know. That's true.
Which is it?
It's a disturbing algorithm, and I don't think...
Robots are analyzing your brain.
And they think they know who I am. That's the scary part for them.
You're letting them know what you are.
They think they know who I am. But I assure you, they have no idea who they're messing with here. Mastermind.
They hear you right now, though.
Oh, I know.
They're already diverting and making new plans.
They have no idea how powerful I am.
You don't know
in the mind
how high that I can fly.
You have no idea how high I can fly. No, I'm powerful in the mind, and media can't control me. It can record me all at once. Every multiple times a week, I hear my Alexa go off and say, "Sorry, I didn't understand that. Could you please repeat it?" Didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Literally was having a conversation far away from you. Didn't say anything to you. Why are you asking me to repeat it?
It's always listening, though.
Right. So why does it need to ask?
It's dumping any data eventually that doesn't say, like, "Hey, Alexa," or "Hey, Siri."
Well, I know. You got to make sure. Yeah, it'll do it.
I think I usually have that turned off.
I do, too. I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. If I want to talk to the thing, then if I
want to talk to the robot, I'll press the button.
Yeah.
But other than that, don't need help.
Sounds pretty.
I know how to navigate.
Awful of us.
But it's AI.
I know.
That's a form of AI that is now going to.
We can't go down this rabbit hole right now.
I know.
I don't think that I can. I don't think I've got the.
Let's just. I meant to send it to you and I didn't. So for the next episode, we're gonna make it an AI episode.
SNWF tackles AI and all of its problems.
Yeah.
And platitudes.
Because let me tell you, Adobe's new Firefly AI.
Yeah, you were telling me about that,
bro. It's terrifying. And the pictures I saw the other day of Donald Trump in war gear were so realistic. It's scary because he did not go to war at all. And he never fought. And that he couldn't put the uniform on.
I don't want to be a downer.
But the photos look so real. It's crazy to me.
But seeing that kind of stuff scares me
That's
so
what I'm
bad.
Saying. I know.
Because I already feel like I can't trust what I'm seeing. And now you're showing me that you can completely make what I'm seeing be something that it's not.
What they want you to see.
So realistically.
Photorealistic. 100. When you see what Adobe's AI does, so you can generate your own images to use in whatever you want. So, like, obviously, it's great for graphic designers. But when you start getting into the photorealistic stuff, and then you also see like the higher end AI renderings, that's now a common thing on Twitter too. When someone will post a picture and underneath it, half the people are saying, "Oh, AI." There's a website I learned of today that you upload a photo and it tells you if it's AI or human. There's a meter.
World's changing. Oh man, I see it. I'm not saying good or bad.
Yeah.
It's changing though.
It's changing in a way.
You can feel it in the air. The world is changing.
When I realized there was an app that you could run a photo through to find out if it was AI or not.
Yeah. Where does that go? Where does this lead?
Dude,
we're tugging on the tail of something big, and it's gonna be.
It's not. We're not gonna like what we find. Again, I keep saying it, and I know I've heard other people say it.
Or we may love it. I think it's all in how you use it, and do you trust the people that have the power to deceive you?
Because, let's face it, having a Tesla and being able to use like the self-driving feature, that's probably awesome.
Yeah.
Because I've seen tons of videos and people are using it all the time now.
Yeah. It's definitely safer though.
I bet that's super cool.
Yeah.
AI, right? Mm-hmm. Terminator. AI, not cool.
Yeah, but that's an image in our head.
I know.
But that's a possibility though.
It's very okay.
I know you say like, oh, it's not a but that's a possibility.
If you're thinking, okay, when we were young, we watched it as a sci-fi film that could never happen, would never happen.
Oh, it's a very dark.
But now,
analyzation of where the world could go with that. And
anyone that thinks that Terminator 2 could not be real, because I still hear people every now and then argue that on Twitter when people bring it up with AI and talk about killing robots and stuff.
Yeah.
And people are like, we're not in Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're not far from it.
I could see how it could go that way.
We already have the drones that can shoot the things.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
So why couldn't they at some point just
I thought you meant, okay, never mind. I meant a camera. I don't control a military drone.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
I thought you meant just a little flying drone.
I just figured you meant like, oh yeah, those cool little things, because they're not very big, and
I don't
able
own
to
one.
Pew pew on people. It's crazy.
I've done it on Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Like that's totally, unless you're doing it in my direction, like all day long. But we're one step away from Terminator 2.
But we're also one step away from...
But we're not even a step away because we're already there. It just hasn't happened yet.
But we're also on a step away of probably really great benefits from having stuff like that. It's all in...
perception.
It's all in what you want to use it for. It's like there's more power now. We found another source of power.
Yeah.
And this is the new source of power people are getting on and creating with and doing things with. I don't know if I like
the new source of power. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, but
and I think it could lead to great things.
Here's the thing. We're getting older. And this is a stop. This is a stop where we got to say, like, I remember when I was younger and I saw these older dudes getting really pissed off about the way that something was changing. And it really annoyed me that they were getting so, like, crotchety about it.
This is our
Is this one of those times, though? So I've got to sit and ask myself, like, how bad should I fear this thing?
Man, you're right.
Not in it's going to destroy the world, but like what it's going to do for art, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to make it's going to make art more accessible to people.
That's the scariest thing, I think,
which is a good thing, but it's also a thing. It's like, well, that just puts me behind the 8 ball.
I saw a YouTube video today titled AI generated MIDI chords.
Yeah.
So again, okay, AI can generate the music. Mm-hmm. So you don't even need the people anymore to write the chord progressions and the melodies for the music.
Yeah.
Because AI can go ahead and generate that.
They've got like B.I.G. rapping Nas's song,
I just saw
New York's Finest, I think.
And then I saw I think it was
they had an AI Kanye
Yep.
complete song written like as Kanye by an AI.
And it sounded pretty on.
Yeah.
I saw these people on the news the other day that were demonstrating what you could do with music AI, made a track where there was a girl and a guy, and they were making music, and they were talking about what AI could do. So they used AI to generate this music.
Yeah.
Completely. And then they wrote some lyrics real quick and recorded like just themselves singing basic parts. First of all, like I said, all music was generated by AI.
Yeah.
All tracks, synthesizers, guitars, drums, everything. And then they made Katy Perry and Drake on this track. They started with their vocals, but were able to like manipulate the vocals to then, and it didn't sound like to the point of like, oh, you would have gotten me with that. I mean, maybe you would have, I guess. But in the context I was watching it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, wow, that's crazy. They can do that. I can hear a little bit of like
what you're looking for, though.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And also, they did it in the matter of like minutes. So again, like well crafted and well like planned, and it made me think like, oh, we're there. So like again, we don't have to make music at all. Or none of the musicians we love or have always, like, at some point, you're going to be able to take and say, you know what? I want a new Green Day song, like, in the style of, like, Basket Case.
Yeah.
But, like, modern now. And I want to make it, like, positive.
Yeah.
And it'll be Billy Joe singing this song you created. I think that is a thing that
it doesn't
can happen.
Seem legal. Like it doesn't seem like if I had
that brings in a whole
Brit does. Like has anybody mentioned that kind of stuff yet?
Yeah, because you can't just
because I don't have my pulse on the world scope right now.
No,
I've steered clear of most things.
It's best to. They really just
I just find on that stuff if I expect the worst scenario out of the world, I'm gonna get it. So if I go and I expect a little bit better out of it,
If I just
then maybe I'll bring more positivity on myself.
Expect a little better out of people.
You get what you give.
You get what you give.
Don't
and on that note,
you got the music in you.
You got the music in you. We'll see you next week, and we'll talk some more AI, because this really is a conversation.
Yeah, we can get into it.
But I got a lot of things that I wanted to share, and you haven't seen them yet. So you can digest it all this week, and then next week we can jump back into the AI discussion. But yeah, you got the music in you.
Mm-hmm. Cue New Radicals. Is that who that was?
I think so.
Oh, I wish we could play that right now.
Why not? I don't know.
It's not worth.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't want to.
It's not worth the risk, man. You know, it's not worth the risk. Maybe I was
get demonetized over New
this
Radicals
on Grand Theft Auto, I would play out that scenario and see what happened.
Ah.
Bye.
Bye. That was a good way to bring it back. If I was.